Rust Jungle Update is releasing on May 1st and is introducing 3 new animals with some unique features. So we're going to take a deep dive into how to survive against these new creatures. And keep in mind, this is over on the Ox 3 staging branch, which means some of these features might get changed or new ones added over time. First of all, the only old animals I've seen over here is the stag. I haven't seen any chickens, but they could be hiding in the bushes, and there's no bears, boars, or wolves. This is the snake, which is the weakest of the 3 animals being added to the game, and they're going to be sleeping in the ferns until you get close enough to them, and then they'll make a little noise, and they'll stand up and face towards the closest player to them. They're not going to do much until you get close enough to them, and they don't appear to be scared of fire. The easiest way to deal with them is to shoot them. They've only got 50 HP, and if you do accidentally get too close to them, they're going to hiss and then attack you, and if they hit you, you're going to get a 70% movement debuff. And after each time they attack, which has a little bit of a delay in between, there's a chance that they will disappear into the ferns and appear somewhere else. The green smoke that you're seeing is a placeholder particle effect for the one that's being worked on currently, which is rustling leaves and then a visualization of the snake moving in the direction that it's going to end up at, making it easier to find them. If you're just passing by and don't want to deal with them, all you have to do is wait for them to hiss and then you can jump to dodge their attack. But if you're trying to hunt them down for their resources, the best weapon to use is one with a quick attack so that they don't get a chance to disappear. And obviously you can use a long-range weapon. At the current moment, they don't really move away or disappear when shooting them from a distance. These snakes are going to give you 4 snake venom and 10 animal fat, and they've also got snake meat that will drop. It's just not hooked up at the moment. The crocodile is the first amphibious creature being added to Rust, preferring to stay close to the nearest water source. Just like the new wolves, the crocodile and tiger's eyes will glow at night, and these 2 creatures will fight to the death if they come across each other in the wild, giving you an opportunity for some free resources. Keep in mind, this is all testing, and these numbers might change, but these are the resources that the crocodile drops, and all of the new animal meat is getting set up with new icons and world models. These crocodiles spawn in the river, and they will attack you if you're in a boat, but it's pretty easy to drive away from them, and if they are currently swimming in the water, they're pretty chill if you're just running by, but as soon as you get in the water, they become very vicious and lock onto you. You can see, even though I'm no-clip flying away, he's still locked onto me from a distance. And since I'm in his waters, he means business. I mean, look at him. He's coming in hot, bro. You better be careful. Something that I noticed is you can lead them to the ocean and they'll just like chill over here. This is where he is now. And they react if you shoot at them from a distance, going into the water to hide, and sometimes coming all the way to attack you. These crocodiles do a lot of damage, so how does one go about protecting themselves? The shield doesn't do anything, they're not scared of fire, they don't really even react to it at all, and it still hasn't been implemented yet for animals to trigger things like landmines or bear traps. And if you try to build Twig up to get away from them, they're going to come knock you down and use a fury attack. So during my time testing, I figured out you can dodge this ability right there, and it is the only one I've discovered. If you try to come at them head on, they're going to attack you immediately, but you can see here, they give you a little heads up that they're about to jump by ducking their head down, and then they spring forward, and you can just move to the right or left and walk right beside it without taking any damage. If they run up to you like this, you're screwed and you're going to get attacked, and it usually means that you were too close to them. Something else to note is they have the ability to attack you from 180 degrees, so also coming at them from behind is dangerous. So taking this into consideration, let's take a look at how you can take out a crocodile with nothing but a couple stone spears. One of the biggest things is going to be patience. You don't want to get too close to it because you could trigger the attack where it runs at you like this, and there is no dodging that, and it will also fury attack you. Once its HP gets lower, it's going to get more aggressive, come at you faster, and also attack you faster. And I tried this out dozens of times, and once its HP gets below a certain threshold, it will no longer jump attack you, so you gotta be ready to burst it at the end. Besides the stone spear, the paddle also has a pretty large range, and you can kind of just smack them in the face to death, and I mean, it's really going to do the job, but it's pretty fun to dodge the attack, which also saves you some HP, but 35 is the most HP that I was able to survive with. Shorter range weapons like the machete are going to make it difficult, but not impossible. The only thing you got to worry about is if you take too much damage before you get to the point where they're no longer dodgeable. Something that I wasn't able to replicate again is sticking at the tail of the crocodile, and then he was only able to hit me one time at the end, which you can hear here. Wasn't able to reproduce this though. So the most reliable and stealthy way to kill these guys without taking a whole lot of damage or dying is to have patience, stand back a little bit, wait for them to close their mouth. Once they walk up, almost 100% of the time they should jump at you. You can get 2 hits in with a combat knife, wait and trigger it again, And then once they get below a certain threshold, they're going to run at you and you have to fury attack them and fight against the knockback. The knockback is one of the most difficult things to deal with because it's a little bit random and it might push you too far away to where you're not going to be able to get close enough again. And unless you have a jackhammer, I wouldn't even bother fighting these guys in the water. They're going to tear you to pieces. The big cats are the third animal being added with the jungle update. You'll probably most often come across them eating another dead player if they're not attacking you from the bushes, and they will drag the corpse they're eating away, and if you get too close to them, they might even flee. Another way that you can get them to flee if you want to have mercy on the big kitty is by shooting them until they stagger, and then they will flee fully. And if you can get up high on top of something like the new Capic tree branches, then they will also fully flee. Another way to get them to partially flee is by staring at them from a distance, and this will give you time to get away. They will still chase you down if you don't get away quick enough though. The tigers and panthers have the ability to hear you shooting bullets, breaking nodes, and chopping trees, and they will target you from a distance. You can see this guy over there, once I start shooting, turns around and starts moving towards me. The tigers and panthers are the first of the 3 new jungle animals to react to the fire with a little animation, but even if you hit them with a torch, they still just go back into flanking mode, circle around you, and continue their attack. Speaking of which, if you need to buy yourself some time to deal with them or for your teammate to catch up to you to deal with them, by staring at them with your weapon put away, they will move very slowly, but remember if they get too close to you, they will still attack, so this really only works from a distance, and as soon as you look away, it gives them the opportunity to attack you. And you're going to want to watch your back because you never know if you're being followed. These guys will shadow your movements. When I run, they run. When I crouch, they move slower. Although they will roar a few times to let you know that they're around before they attack. And a feature that I read in the commits is that they have the ability to mark trees. I think that might be what this is. I'm not crazy. It is definitely not a light ray because it's only on certain trees, specifically this tree. And it's also not found on every single one of these trees, and there was also a tiger recently nearby, and this is what light looks like moving around, so I'm not crazy, it has to be the marking. And similarly, but different to the crocodiles, they have a jumping attack, which means that you can also not build foundations to try to get away from them, and they can jump pretty high. But I found out if you build a 2x2 of twig and stand in the center of it, it will scare them and they will fully flee. And if you're really desperate, dying, and can't find a Capic tree, you can build a twig, build a staircase, build a wall, put a floor on top of it, and jump up very quickly to make them run away. Unlike the crocodile, which has a dodgeable attack, these guys do not, and it's probably because they have far less HP. The stone spear is what I found to be the cheapest and easiest way to take these guys out as a naked, and as you can see, once you bring them down below 120 HP, it will stagger them, making it easy for you to get a couple more hits in to finish them off. Although it does seem like they have a chance to run off faster or slower sometimes after you finish them and even turn and go the opposite direction, so you're gonna have to be on your toes and make sure that they don't run away because remember, after you stagger them, they will run away and flee fully. And since we need to bring them below 120 HP, the regular wooden spear just isn't going to do the job, so you're going to need a stone one. Which also means things like the baseball bat aren't going to do enough either because it brings them down exactly to 120 HP, and you can see with the combat knife it brings them to 118, and then the stagger is triggered. These big cats will knock you back when they attack you, which adds a little bit of randomness to it and makes it sometimes difficult to finish them off with a melee. And surprisingly, it's even more difficult to take them out with crossbows and bows because you have to hit them like 4 or 5 times before it staggers them, and then it takes like 3 or 4 more arrows to hit them, and by the time that you do that, there's a chance that they've disappeared over a hill or into the ferns. So my opinion is that you should use a melee weapon that can bring them down below 120 HP so you don't give away your position by making a bunch of noise with a gun. And obviously the combat knife or the jackhammer is going to completely obliterate them, but I found the salvaged hammer can 3-hit them. And it also attacks very quickly, making it better than a stone spear or other easy to find melee weapons. And during my time testing, it's not like these guys are everywhere, they're spread out just as evenly as all of the other animals in Rust, and that should be everything you need to know to survive against them.